Hey everyone, let's wait for a few minutes so people will join. So if you have any queries, you can ping in the chat down. Okay, so I'll just check and then I will just go through your queries in the maybe after this topic. Okay, so after we discuss the topic. Uh, Meanwhile, I was thinking whether okay, so what are the difficulties? Okay, we connected with support people and admin people, so we have learned we have learned that they are feeling some difficulty around some topics. Okay, so if you are a person like who is working in a support or admin, okay, so you have to focus more on this one. Okay, we'll cover this topic and then we will add a we'll add a separate entry course for basic and tutorial course for admin support people later. Okay, maybe in the shutdown time in the last week of December. Okay, so not till then, no, please wait. Okay, so thanks for your patience. We have to cover a lot of topics. Okay, so there are a lot of updates and there are a lot lot of topics present in Abinitio. So we have to go through each and every one. When we go through, we have to give our best. Okay, so that's why it's taking time for us. No, apart from in addition to our routine work. Okay, so. So I guess we'll start with the today's session. So let people join and then they can view this video later. Okay. So no, today I thought I could bring up some topics. Okay. So this has been discussed in the last live session. So if you missed out the last live session, you can watch the later after this session. Okay. So we have done some five to six live sessions in the last like every Saturday. So please watch that. That will improve your interview experience. Okay, and today we have brought some few topics which will which we find that that is difficult for the support or admin candidate. Okay, so not only for support, even like if you are an admin professional as well. Okay, so recently we reached one admin professional. They reached out to me, asking key like I have 4 years experience. Okay, so I know can I able to switch or not. Okay, so see most of them have the same doubt. Okay, so I am a Abinitio admin guy. Okay, so Abinitio admin person. Okay, who is having 2 years of experience. How can I switch? Okay, how can I make a switch? Okay, so that's the question. Okay, so this is not only for admin people, even for support professional as well. Okay, even for the people who has got like who didn't get much chance to work on the development. Okay, see the worst part is that you are in a project like in a general shift, like in a developer project, but doing only enhancement. Okay, so that is you have to connect with seniors and then you have to learn a lot. Okay, so for all these three type of categories. Okay, so if you are one of these category, like you must watch these and then you must learn like what are topics there. Okay, so that you will get an idea of what developer does and then what are developer related interview questions. Okay, so that's I'm sure we have covered like most of that. Okay, so you don't have to worry. Like, see, if you have any questions, you can drop that in the chat. Okay, I'll just answer to that. Okay, so this one, no, we have reached out, like one person has reached out to us, and then we have advised him to, okay, start your preparation and then make the switch after 2.5 years. Okay, maybe 2.5 to third. Okay, so this is for him. Okay, we have discussed earlier. So if he starts with the 2.5 years, it will take some 5 to 6 months, and then when he reaches third year, like he can go for a first switch. Okay, so that will be useful for him. Okay, so first switch like after 2.5 years. Okay, so, and if you are suppose if you are a professional who has crossed more than 5 or 6 years in support or admin. Okay, even for these categories, the topics which we covered will be useful for you guys. Okay, so even after so don't worry that if you are stuck in other like support or admin role for long term, don't worry that I won't be getting a proper useful role in the in the near term. Okay, so recently people who are having 15 plus year experience. Okay, in Abinitio admin, okay, and support, okay. So they are into no enhancement project, okay. So stories are there, okay. So stories like good stories are there everywhere. You have to you should not be losing your hope, okay. So it doesn't matter how many years in support or admin, you think like a ab initio professional, okay. So it's nothing like support, admin, and development. Think in terms of ab initio professional. We are all like part of ab initio community, and then we look forward to upskill ourselves in future. Maybe maybe you can also go through like Databricks and Spiceberg, and then have some cloud technologies along with ab initio, okay. So until the future, as like we can wait for the ab initio to to roll up their new futures, and then we have to find out whether the clients are sticking to ab initio, okay. So far, for now they're sticking out. So we'll see that one, okay. So so think like we are ab initio professional, and then we learn, we need to learn in and out, okay. So in and out, okay. So sorry, I missed one another category here. So this one is a freshers, okay. So juniors, like complete juniors, like straight from college, okay. So these are like they also like need some guidance, from seniors, okay. So for all these four categories, okay. So to start with, to begin with, okay. First, I'll just give you some order, okay, so that you can watch these videos, of like after this session, okay. Maybe you could take some time. Okay, so in order to get placed in the interview, okay, when you are a supporter admin, okay, so you'll feel some difficulty, okay. So in order to overcome that, first main thing is you have to be prepared for the interview, okay. For that, you should have a proper resume. So when I say resume, like take some developer resume reference, and then you can compare that. You can add some stuffs. You can learn. You can make up your profile, and then you can learn some developer activities, and then you can you can put up a profile in Naukri or LinkedIn, okay. So if you want a developer profile, you can mail us, okay. So we will just forward to you, okay. And the next one is how to handle the interview calls and everything, okay. So this is very important. And the thing is, as a developer, as a developer, like we know that how many questions, how many questions from Unix and SQL and Abnisha will come, and then like how can we answer, okay. So all these points we have, we have some exposure to that. But being a support and admin, you should know how to handle, okay. So after once you have completed watching the resume preparation, once you have a proper resume, go and watch this one, okay. So in our channel, okay, go and watch this video, which will be which we have discussed, like how to handle your interview calls and technical round and HR round, okay. And then if you are 3 to 5 years experience, I would have specified some sample set, okay, sample Capgemini questions, okay. And then and then like how should you prepare, okay. Sample no techniques for if you are junior, okay. So what are the topics you should cover, okay. See, all this important because you should be prepared, okay. Like what in whatever we have discussed already, you should be prepared by now, okay. So prepare, take a notebook, and then prepare all the topics, and then like, keep it ready, okay. So it will be useful for your 15 plus up to, I think I know a guy like who's still working in Abinitio, like, okay, who's having 17 to 18 experience, okay. So like up to up to your future career, okay. So because like we don't have any materials outside, okay. So we have to prepare our own materials for this one Abinitio. So every interview is important, okay. So revisit this in order, okay. So all these are useful for highly useful for Abinitio professionals, okay. And then today's agenda, coming to today's agenda, I have see the today's topic is that where exactly the Abinitio support or admin candidate fail, okay. So that's the thing, okay. So recruiter, they see, usually our goal is that when we hire for a project, okay. Suppose if I am being a recruiter, okay. So when a recruiter hires for let's say hire for a Barclays project, okay. Okay, so what does he look? Okay, what does he look? Okay, so he looks into how do you handle the code? Okay, so first he filters a profile. Okay, he filters a nice, filters a nice profile. Okay, who has handled Abinitio pipeline and everything, who has worked with the basic components and everything. Okay, that's I think we all have the proper resume, and in the interview they are code specific. Okay, So if you don't tell, so for example, if you don't tell m underscore db gen.dml command properly, then they will not, they will not choose you. Okay, they will not like move your profile to the next round. Okay, so depends on the client. Okay, so depends on the client, question will be like, will vary. Okay, so if they are, if they are into some support project, the question will vary. Okay, so that will be basic theory questions. Okay, so it depends on the project, client, and then the recruiter expectation. Okay, so we have covered everything for that. Okay, so see in this one, whatever theory topics we have covered, you can, you can see that. Because for example, in the cognizant. Okay, so cognizant, when they were hiring in the July, July time. Okay, so 25, they were looking for support people. Okay, support candidates, and then the questions were simple. Okay, roll up versus scan. Okay, and then output indexes is indexes. Okay, so so questions will be simple for the support. Okay, if they are expecting just administration support, then the questions will be simple. Okay, so if they are expecting for the, like big client, like who needs like proper development deployment, then they will be analyzing like, dev related topics. Okay, so dev related topics. Okay, so this one, this one is a must. Okay, so this varies according to the client and then recruiter's expectation. Okay, so what we covered is that we, no, we majorly brought some three categories. One is routine work. Okay, and another is Abnusha code specific, and then another is business specific. Okay, so the main idea is that a developer, we noticed that developer has a routine, and then developer is strong with the administrative specific code, no related areas. Okay, and then is also like involved in the business, business meetings, and then inter-cross team. Okay, like inter team. Okay, so he has experience connecting with the BAs. Okay, like business analyst team, and then QA team. Okay, and then prod team. Okay, he's like, and then client team as well. Okay, and then client, spot. Okay, so developer has a role, as a like it's like a, all rounder. Like he has a experience in connecting with all type of, all type of teams. And then that maybe you'll get a question. Okay, you'll get a question in that areas. Okay, so we have covered these categories. Okay, first let me go into the routine work. So what are the day, what are the day-to-day routine for the developer, and then how should you learn from that? Okay, so see, after see come to these no topics once you have finished. Okay, so come to these topics once you've finished. Okay, so this one is once you have finished. Okay, once you have finished, the theory, and then use case practice. Okay, from our channel. Okay, so study the theory from the Abinitio website. Okay, so once you have covered maximum theory and use case, you can, you can revisit these topics. Okay, because you should be strong with whatever you have prepared already. Okay, so coming back to the routine work, here, the question is, have you deployed any graph to production? Okay, so for this, for this a routine. See, this is a routine work which developer does. Okay, so developer used to do, no, developer like tech lead. Okay, so tech lead. Okay, or onshore team member, they used to do. Okay, so you should have experience, you should have experience in, doing that. Like, like as a support and admin, you cannot crack this if you don't know. Okay, so the thing is, you should understand this one. Okay, so note down these points, and then connect with the developer or send us a mail. Okay, so send us a mail. We'll give you the answers for this one. Okay, see, there are like a lot of developer activities, but I have brought you the important one. Okay, so first one is, I have deployed, graph to production. Okay, so for this, you should know, how to create a tag. Okay, so we have already seen how we have created tag. Okay, so tag creation process, the Jenkins auto build. Okay, so auto build, that process, and then service now production, CR. Okay, snow service now CR process. Okay, and then final deployment. Okay, so you have to understand these process. Okay, I think we have covered, tag creation already. You can find it, this find the tag creation in our channel. Okay, so you can study this one. Okay, I think in the tag creation we have covered, not Jenkins as well. Okay, so try to check on that one. So, and then after that, second topic is that setup and configurator. So this may be new to you if you are a support guy. Okay, so if you are admin guy, you should have experience. Okay, so how to set up dot profile and dot administrator and then DBC file. Okay, so see, dot. I think. If you are being a Abinitio candidate, we know that how important this file is. Okay, Abinitio RC file. So you should understand what are the contents inside. Okay, so the questions will be uh, contents. Okay, what are the contents inside .dbc file? Okay, and then dot Abinitio RC file. Okay, so these will be the questions. Okay, and then we have already seen .dbc file creation. Okay, so you can watch that in our video. Okay, and make sure in addition, try to check. Okay, if you go through the internet, you will get the dot profile answer, dot Abinitio RC answer. Okay, so try to get that and then understand. Okay, why there is a need for Abinitio RC file and why there is a need for dot profile file. Okay, and then after that, see these, because when a developer sets this environment, he knows how to set up the dot profile, how to set up the Abinitio RC. Okay, so and then after that, the third point is that error debugging. Okay, so see, error debugging is that suppose you, for example, here you have DML issue. Okay, DML issue, or let's say out of order. Okay, how do you correct? Okay, out of order issue. Okay, so being a support candidate, okay, or admin candidate, if you don't understand out of order issue, then like they will easily find out. Okay, recruiter will easily find out you don't have a proper experience. Okay, proper junior experience. Okay, see, that's where we lag. See, matlab, let's say being support and admin. See, they don't care. Okay, actually, for me, okay, like personally for me, I don't care like if you are a support or admin. Okay, so I don't care if you are a support or support or admin. Okay, support or admin or even developer. Okay, even a developer. So all we want is, all recruiter want is, we want like whether you understand the administration system. Okay, administration system, and then are you able to code in it? Okay, are you able to code? Okay, able to code. Okay, so when I say system, the component parameters and everything. Okay, able to code in it, and then developer activities. Okay, so that's it. Okay, and then if you are support, I think you should know control center, job scheduling and everything. Okay, so what are, okay, job scheduling, you have autosys, and then you have control center. Okay, and then you have cron. Okay, what are, okay, so scheduling and monitoring, that will be a separate topic. Okay, so all we want is only this one. Okay, if you're lagging here, then like no one can save you here. Okay, so that's why but the thing is, we look at a profile and we filter, right? So that's why I asked you to follow these videos. Okay, so follow one by one, like first set up your nice profile, and then how do you handle the interview. Okay, so second video is important, and then come back to what are topics. Okay, because the first one, the filtration is important. Okay, so you have to get filtered, you have to get filtered. Okay, so get filtered in the first round. Okay, for the first one. Okay, for the first one. Okay, so that's how do you respond to HR call, how do you build up your profile. So that's very very important. Okay, so and it depends on the market as well. Okay, keep ready, like see, no just prepare your nice profile, and then like keep it ready, and then like upload in your Naukri as well. Okay, so the if the job market is at peak, you may get like more calls. Okay, so maybe in the coming years. Okay, so after that, coming back to that routine work, here we have DML issue, out of order issue, right? So after that, we have no agile method. Okay, so in this one, let's say I have told you, right, like the developer, he has some activities. Okay, he has some activities, you know which, okay, which maybe other team doesn't know. Okay, for example, a developer will not understand what support guys are doing. Okay, support guys, they handle escalation, they handle priority tickets, and then they know whom to contact, and then they have the ownership. Okay, so they have a daily call, and then like, a lot of things are going on, right? So similarly, for a dev guy, okay, for dev person, when the project starts or when enhancement work starts, he will connect with the BA person, okay, so business team person, to to get the mapping sheet, okay, mapping sheet, or or a proposal sheet, okay. So if it is an enhancement work, he will get a mapping sheet, or if it is a new project, he may get like project, project transition, transition, document, okay, so where he has a estimate, okay, E0, E1, and then final deployment, okay. So he has that info, okay, because when a project starts, they will be mapping, how can we transfer this to Abinitio system, how can we do the transformation there, and then how can we build the project, okay. So that's there in the document, okay. So interim process, and then after 3 months we can deploy, we can deploy in phases, okay. So that complete, like, let's say, project plan, okay. So project plan document, okay. Otherwise, basic mapping sheet, okay. So we can do the BA team, and then develop BRE, and then build logic, okay. So and then build a ETL pipeline. Like this is a normal normal dev activity which connects with onshore team or whatever. So they might ask you, what is a team size? Now if you go and say, I have a team member of 30 people or 20 people, like that, they will have a doubt, okay. So you should understand the average average developer team size, okay, which is, to my understanding, okay, for like, to my understanding, according to my experience, I have seen maximum 7 to 8, okay. So this is an important question. Okay, see, it is a small question, but it they will set you a trap here. Okay, so this is like see, for example, support people, they might have 10, 12, 15, or or even 5. Okay, whatever. Okay, so but developer team, they ranges from 3 to, let's say, 3 to 8. Okay, three to eight, okay. So developer team is actually, for a project, okay, we have multiple projects in for example, in a, let's say, let's take a bank, okay, let's say Wells Fargo, okay. So in Wells Fargo or in Barclays or wherever, in that okay, banking domain, we have multiple projects, right? So in each project there may be a few developers and few key, testing team, and then few production support team, okay. So likewise, the developer team says, you should understand, okay. So that's like important thing, okay. So you cannot go and say like, we are a team of like 30 people or 20 people, like that, okay. So that's where you will get trapped, okay. And then how do you handle the, like, how do you handle the escalation, and then if there's a priority work, how do you handle the enhancement, those in those areas, okay. So and then after that, once these two are done, after that, we put that sandbox, or put that no project objects in the queue environment, okay. So where tester will come, and they will be doing the negative testing and everything, okay. So like whatever testing that they do, okay, like tester they know, okay. So but now here the question is, can, like, as a developer, will you complete, okay, will you do the unit testing or not, okay. So what are type of testing that you do, okay. So for that, we do the unit testing, right? So we complete the unit testing, and then unit testing or zero by testing or whatever you call, okay, we complete the unit testing, and then we hand over to the QA team. Okay, so they complete, and then they just proceed, like they just put it in a give a sign off, okay. And then after that, we create a UAT here, and then we put it in a UAT environment, okay. So some project might not have, okay, some client might not have this, okay. Okay, but some client have following the regulatory measures, they will have the UAT, okay. And then finally, into, see, the reason I'm explaining to you, because you should understand what a developer does, okay. So no, like, see, this knowledge will be useful whether you're going for interview or not, doesn't matter. This is your long IT career, okay. So and then finally, if the UATCR is approved and then everything looks good, you will be asked to raise the production, production deployment, right? So I think you may understand the production deployment in the tag creation, okay. So you can watch that video in our channel, okay. And then when something messes up, okay, something messes up in your project, how do you fix that, okay? How do you fix that? How do you fix that? give full attention, like how to fix the temporarily. Okay, so we have a temporary hot fix. Okay, so this you need to understand. And then we have permanent fix. Okay, so we have a temporary fix and then we have a permanent fix. Okay, so temporary hotfix and then permanent fix. So where in the temporary fix we just have a testing like sandbox, okay, testing folder there, and then we bring that Ubuntu object and then we change it there, and then we just route that production path to the testing object. Okay, so what happens is that we route that production, the production production path, okay, to the test path where we have where we have our artifact. Okay, for example our xfr changed. Okay, so that you whatever xfr we have changed, that will work in the temporary. Okay, so after that permanent fix, again we have to find locate the the xfr, and then check out in dev. Okay, and then test it in qa, and then find deploy the correct one. Okay, so that process goes on for a permanent fix. Okay, so this is for a permanent fix. Okay, so in your daily routine work for a developer, okay, so these are the questions. Okay, see, we have got this question. Okay, and then we have got unit testing question, and then we have got how do you do the no see, they will not ask you what type of fix you're doing. They will ask you uh, on a priority. Okay, so there is some error in your production code recently deployed. How do you handle that within 24 hours? Okay, that is the question. That okay, see, okay, the how do you handle. Okay, so but because as a developer you should have handled this already handled. Okay, so that's why they are asking you how to handle that recently deployed. Okay, recently deployed production XFR. Okay, XFR or MP or whatever, graph or whatever. Okay, issue within 24 hours. Okay, because or within 24 hours or before the batch starts. Okay, so before the next batch starts. Okay, so the questions may be like this. Okay, so it will not be direct. See, in an interview, the questions will not be direct. Okay, so it will be in a other way around. So you should practice this. Okay, so only if you know these stories. Okay, so better if you have a developer friend with you. Okay, if you are a, if you have any relatives or if you have any friends of any mutual friends. Okay, who has done the application development, you can connect with them and then understand these routine activities. Okay, see, routine work is highly important to to give that satisfaction which which a recruiter may expect. Okay, so recruiter sometimes if they have some doubt on you whether your profile is fake or not real, whether you have actually done some development work, okay, handle some compound work, then telling these answers. Okay, counter like like no, like you are answering like to these type of interview questions will make them think, okay, he's a proper developer. Okay, he has handled some developer work, he can handle the team. Okay, so that's how that's the routine work. Okay, so there are other things as well, but that's not important. Okay, like meeting back to tech lead. Okay, we have a weekly call, and that's a routine like every team follows. Okay, so but these are the important things. Okay, so agile method, in coming to agile method, I think the Jira story. Okay, okay, Jira story, and then we pick it up and then we do it. Okay, and then like and then and then maybe connecting with other teams. Okay, so that I think I will put in another category. Okay, so for now routine work is this one. Okay, so I like in the building part you can this in the second part we'll do the complete development. Okay, so complete development, like we can't with the teams. We have an internal discussion every day. Okay, we can't with senior members. If we have doubt, we can ask a team lead. Okay, team lead will help from us. Okay, whether it's an onshore or offshore doesn't matter. Okay, so he will provide his input, and then we have to develop our own ETL pipeline, and then we have to test it out, and then we have to deploy. Okay, so this is the routine one. Moving on to second one. So Abinitio specific related. Okay, so this one most of the use case we have covered. Okay. Um, Most of the use case we have covered. I think we have covered SE type. Okay. So see, Abinitio specific is nothing but whatever related to Abinitio system. Okay. Be it R command, M command, theory, concept, use cases. Okay. and then some additional things, okay, like SC type graph, and then header detail trailer, and then some tricky parameters, okay, like for example, keep in dedupe sort, okay, and then select and reformat, okay, and then driving port in join. I think we have seen the driving port already, okay. So I think you can find that in our channel, okay. So these are some some parameters level question, okay. So that will cover under theory part, okay. So other than that, from Ab initio, there is not much, okay. So learn the proper M command, learn the proper R command, okay. Because in M command, still people does the same mistake, okay. So for example, M underscore DB, okay. How, see, question is straight away, see, question is how do you generate a DML for a table, okay. Let's say for example, we have a employee history table, okay. Okay, how do you generate DML for this table? This is a direct question. I am not sure why still a bunch of professionals are not able to answer. Okay, this is like very highly important, and if you are not answering, they will not choose you. They will not even consider you. Okay, so thing is you have to answer properly. M underscore DB, gen DML. Okay, you have to specify the DBC file, okay, and then you have to specify like whether if you are running through a select query, or if you are directly generating from table, you have to specify hyphen table or hyphen select command, okay. You have to give the query here, okay. You have to tell like this, okay. You have to tell properly, okay. You have to ask the recruiter whether I should I should do with the table name only, or I should do with the self query. Okay. If a recruiter is giving only table name, then you can specify table name. From the table name, it can generate the DML. Okay. So that will give you a record format. Okay. So this will give you a record format for the table. So this is like backend. Okay. So how to generate DML, front end, backend. Okay. Front end and backend. So this is backend. And front end, as I think okay, like you just put a input table, and then give the table a name, and then just you can click on the generate records, okay. So front end is easy. Back end, you have to know this one, okay. See, this is like one sample I'm telling you, okay. But we have a lot of M commands that that you can go through with the Abinitio help library, okay. So we'll cover that maybe in the future. Like, is there like, I think the M commands are there already in the internet, okay. So you can go and easily search anywhere, it will come, I think. So maybe some YouTube videos or some theory, like internet browse, like you can browse there, okay. So and then this is very important, okay. So still tricky is that still we have recently I will just tell you another example, okay. Recently Barclays, non-technical, okay, I mean non-client, okay. A non-client, I think you are aware of non-client is that in the Barclays team, one employee, okay. So first round maybe, okay, the first round. So first round, we have got this question, okay. So the question is, what are the functions, okay. What's the function, okay. What is the function that determines how many times your normalize should run, okay. How many times your normalize should run, okay, should run. What are the what are the functions, okay. What is the function other than length function, okay. First, what are the functions, okay. So for this, you have to answer. If you answer only length, okay, so answer would be no length, okay. We know that. I think if you are following our channel, I think you might know we have seen a lot of normalized use cases. In the normalized use case, we used to write the length, length, like out length functions, right? So you will, in the out length function, will calculate the string length or whatever, and then depending on that, our index 0, 1, 2, 3 will start, and then core function will run, right? So they will ask you only the length function will make the normalize, or any other function, okay. So the answer is, I think we have already seen that, okay. So answer is length, and then we have finished, okay. So you have to tell these two things properly, okay. So these are all like a tricky questions, okay. So if you only understand the functions inside each component, that's why I repeatedly told you, like when you cover the theory, so go by component wise, okay. So that's my biggest advice, okay, for everyone, okay. So go by component wise. Okay, so go by compound wise, take a reformat, go through everything, take a normalize and go through everything. Okay, so that's how you can tackle this question. Okay, so this is a Barclays 2025 question. Okay, recent question. Okay, so no, I'm just highlighting you because it does feel important, okay, for me. Okay, because if you are a supporter admin, or if you don't cover, if you take theory as a silly thing, okay, then you will miss out this question. Okay, so that's why I told you theory is like more important. Okay, so theory topic is so important, and then you can come to routine work, developer related activities and these areas. Okay, so complete your theory, complete your use cases, and then go through these developer activities. Okay, so because this is a trap. Okay, so this is a trap question that if you don't know the finished, then you will be finished in the tree. Okay. Yeah. So and then like after that, I think air comments, most of you guys are like no already, but here the trap will be. So here how they set the trap. Okay, how do they set the trap? No, how do they set the trap here? Okay, so you have to understand. Simply saying add tag create, that will not help you. Okay, in an interview. So this will not help you in an interview. Okay, simply saying how add tag create. This will not help you. Okay, you have to tell the full command. Okay, and then if you tell the full command, for example, they're asking you how do you create a tag and then deploy. Okay, so if you answer add tag create tag name and then hyphen file, from this object I have listed out all the object names, and then I'm like creating tag for that. Okay, if you say that and then hyphen exit. Okay, if you say this command, they will come and ask you, okay, what is the meaning of exit? Okay, so what is the meaning of exit and why are you specifying that? Okay, so they will ask you that. So you should know why are we using the exact. Okay, so exact is for only for the object specified in this file. Okay, you should be able to tell that. Okay, so you should be able to tell that this hyphen exact is for only this object. Okay, if you specify hyphen all record, that is for all the objects in this path. Okay, so whatever command you, first of all you should tell the clear command. And if you see, if you break, if you tell the part of the command, then they will not, they will think like, okay, you are referred somewhere and then you are telling it here. Okay, so if you are telling a proper command, okay, then they will test you again. Okay, they will test you like, okay, why are you putting hyphen excel, why are you putting hyphen all record, what's the meaning for that? Then after that, if you give the clarification, they will move on to the next question. Okay, so you have to, these are the traps, they set in the air command and m command. Okay, so and then and then normally I think use cases, I think you have to refer to our channel. Okay, so go on to like you can refer all the use cases we have discussed. Okay, so that will be helpful for you. Okay, so try to cover by each component. Okay, so try to go by the playlist. Okay, so don't go by the videos. No, open the channel and then go by reformat playlist, roll up playlist, scan playlist. Okay, so complete the basic component playlist, and then you can go to the PDL and the plans. Okay, so this is the Abinitio specific no traps. Okay, so here the trap is SC type 2 design. Okay, so this is the biggest trap. We have made a video for this, so that's an important one. You can watch that. Okay, so unheaded trailer detail, that's important as well. Okay, so this is Abinitio specific, and then moving on to final one. So final one, no business related. Okay, so see this one, this topic mainly for the client round. After you have, if you have successfully cleared the technical traps. Okay, if you have surveyed the technical rounds, then you are pushed to the client round, where you should have some some documentation in your notebook, or like some just note down. Okay, so whatever automation work you think you can note down, like you are done, or you get it from your seniors, or you can note down there. And then try to have an idea of your own project. Okay, maybe if you're a support and admin, you might not know. Just if you're a support and admin, try to open some project. Okay, so open sandbox. Okay, open sandbox, and then try to learn that one. Okay, so open a open a project sandbox, and then learn from that, and then take note of that. Okay, so see, keep these things in handy. Okay, so these two in handy. Okay, so that in the client round, they will ask you what are the automation type of work you have done. Okay, so either in Ab Initio or Unix. Okay, So I will bring this topic in a separate video. Okay, I will take note of that. Okay, so I will bring this topic in a separate video. Okay, so we have done some automation work in Abinitio. Okay, so I will discuss on that one. In the like in the other video in the next video. Okay, so that will be useful for you. Like we have done both in Unix and the generic Abinitio. Okay, so Abinitio we can say generic graph. Okay, we have automated the whole project ourselves. Okay, so we will discuss on that one later. Okay, and then like this ETL design pipeline. Okay, you should at least demonstrate or tell the story of one ETL project. Okay, how did you develop and what are the challenges there? Okay, so what are the challenges you faced? So this one, better connect with your community members. Okay, better connect with your LinkedIn members. See, that's why we have a LinkedIn, right? So LinkedIn, connect with seniors. Okay, seniors, and then ask them the challenges that they faced in their career. Okay, so LinkedIn connect is very important. Okay, so people are there to help you only if you reach out. Okay, so and then these are the team related questions. Okay, so if you are a senior with the 5 years, 5 plus, okay, they will ask you, okay, how do you handle team and how do you mentor the juniors? Okay, handling team and then core deployment cycle. Okay, some this one recently we have got it from city question. Okay, cities. Okay, so core deployment release cycle. Okay, so whether monthly. Okay, so or any priority release. Okay, so any type of approval. Okay, those areas. Okay, so these are the things covered in this one. Okay, so that's what see, maximum in the client round they will ask you the automation work and then tell about some design. Okay, so that's it. Like see that these are important three headings. Okay, the routine work and then administrative specific related and then business specific. Okay, so business, if you're surveyed the technical round, when you go to the client round, you make sure see general topic is fine. Okay, so general topic includes this includes whether you able to adapt. Okay, adapt to changing technology. Okay, so changing technologies. Okay, changing skills. Okay, no whether you be okay to lead a team. Okay, okay to go into leadership role. Okay, leadership role or stay in same developer or whatever role you do. Okay, stay in same role. Okay, so you cannot if you stay if you tell you stay in same role, that will not fit in the corporate. Okay, so this is a dangerous thing. Okay, so this is kind of these are things you should understand. Okay, you should tell like I'm willing to like move into leadership role because like I'm willing to lead a team. I'm willing to support my organization. Okay, so in that positive manner. Okay, so these are client round related. Okay, so where we know it like it doesn't involve it involves part of ab initio work and then part of these two are related to ab initio. Okay, ab initio developer related to work. Okay, so where they can, if you cannot able to tell this then you are trapped. Okay, so you cannot escape. Okay, so you should have this in handy before you go to interview. Okay, and then general topic you can handle. Okay, I think everyone can handle the general topic. Okay, so you can say everything. I think I hope like we don't have to educate on this general topic. Okay, so that's it for today. I think already we have passed the 40 minutes. Okay, so if you have any questions you can drop down the chat. Okay, so no we can I can answer your queries. Okay, so today just I brought these important topics. Okay, so to make you understand how serious is about to develop a question. Okay, so coming to the routine work and then the specific application specific code related. Okay, so everything is see all these are day to day work related activities that that recruiter uses to trap you. Okay, so they know that you are studying somewhere like studying about reformer, studying about roll up and then coming into intro. Okay, so the only thing is you cannot study is these areas. Okay, these areas you cannot study outside. You see you only have hands on when you work with the developer team. Okay, so that's how they trap. That's why we have brought this topic in the first. Okay, so we have brought the routine work as the first topic and then application specific and then finally business. Okay, so because this one This one is like client spot, and this one is developer libraries. Okay, so that's why we have brought the routine as first. Okay, so because that routine is an important thing. Okay, so I hope I hope this session went well. Okay, so if you have any questions, you can drop down the chat. We can wait for any question and then we can wind it off. Okay, so tomorrow we can bring up some new topics, and then maybe we'll start a different playlist for interview preparation. Okay, so if you you can mention down in the comment. Okay, if you're willing to enroll into the interview preparation. Okay, so here only we'll start the interview preparation playlist. Okay, in our YouTube. Okay, so we don't have a time for having a separate course. Okay, so we'll just manage to create a playlist for beginners. Okay, and then most people they were requesting PDL and meta programming. Okay, so this one, and then plans as well. Okay, so plans, PDL and meta programming. So for this one playlist. Okay, and then for interview preparation one playlist. Okay, how do you prepare, how do you deal with each component. And then for beginners, see, for beginners, if you're a beginner, if you're a junior watching this video. Okay, so for beginners, for you guys, we have to teach you, how do you create an input file, how do you specify the record format, how the data is flowing from each component to component, what is phases. Okay, so that is useful for support team as well. Okay, so we understand that. See, I think we have request. We have like 5 to 7 requests in Abinitio beginner, asking us to create a playlist for that. We will do that. Okay, so just it's like few months back, right? We have created this channel, right? So please give us some time to breathe, and then like we will create that. Okay, for you. Okay. So until then, and we know that it is difficult to grasp, the use cases which we are discussing here. So you know we'll just hold on. Okay, so we'll create a separate playlist for the Abnishal beginners. Okay, and that too, with the hands-on. Okay, so whatever hands-on we have, we'll teach you properly so that you can practice in your GD. Okay, so that's important. Okay, so yeah, Shubhangi. Okay, thanks for that. Okay, so please make more videos on compound behavior. Yeah, so that's why, like, we know when we go to the theory topics, we plan to create the playlist where we can include a particular reformed compound behavior. Okay, so when you take the theory concept, you have to understand the reformed behavior. So that's the question from Deloitte. Okay, so Deloitte, 2025. So the reformat runtime behavior. I think I already covered. Uh, I think I didn't. I've told this question, but maybe I didn't cover this fully. Okay, so we'll make a separate playlist. Okay, so to discuss on each component runtime. Okay, so the runtime is highly important. Okay, so when you go for theory, for now I will recommend you to go and study it in docs.apprenticeship.com. Okay, we will explain. Okay, from our side, I will just explain you. Okay, so if you like no if you like my teaching. Okay, so I will just explain. Okay, the runtime behavior. Meanwhile, you can use up the resource. Okay, so which is already provided by Abnishio team. Okay, so you can get help from the help library, and you can go through like yourself. Okay, meanwhile, like, wait for that. We'll prepare one runtime list. Okay, see, there are some theory important topics, right? So the tricky parameters and then runtime behavior. So these are all important areas where where support people cannot even attempt. Okay, if they ask you what is the runtime of rollup and how many times the initialize function runs, so that type of question, like, admin guy or support guy will not answer. Okay, like, won't have any idea. Okay, so it's an important thing. Runtime is an important concept. Okay, so thanks for bringing up. Okay, so we'll just bring that up. Okay, so I hope you filled that course as well. Okay, so Shubhangi, I'll just reach out to you later. Okay, so we are busy and back to back, like, with the course and then work. Okay, so we'll reach out to you, on that preparation course. Okay, so we are preparing for like, we are having idea on creating playlist. Okay, so people are requesting that. Okay, so since, like, see, one-to-one mentor, it will take some time. So I have thought of creating a playlist separately for people to go and check that. Okay, so that it will be a time. It won't be time consuming for us. Okay, so that's why we are putting a hold. So if you want, like, free guidance, like, we will reach out to you, like, tomorrow. Okay, so please fill in the form. So we'll reach out to you tomorrow, like no, today or tomorrow. Okay, today we have reached out to some people. So free guidance, like we'll just reach out to you and then have a discussion, like how, like what are the difficulties you guys have. Okay, so that I think that we are answering like in Saturday, Sunday. Okay, so I hope like there are like no other questions. Like you can comment down any questions that you have. Like we'll just reach out to you in the in the chat itself. Okay. So we'll just see you guys like in the next live session. Okay. So thanks for joining. Okay. So prepare well, and then you can like don't lose your hope. Okay. So I'll just see you guys in the tomorrow's video. Until then, bye bye.